Hello, everybody, and welcome to Behind the Green Room Door. Hey, I got it. I wonder if people will log in every single week and every other week just to see. Did
If
Richard
you can
get it
figure
right?
out the name of the podcast.
Of the podcast that we produce, right? Behind the Green Room Door.
Yeah.
There you go. I got it. So I want to know more secrets, Clark. First of all, how has your weekend been? Anything special? Any kids' birthdays or?
No, actually, it was our anniversary yesterday.
You and your wife's anniversary?
Yeah, 23 years.
23 years.
Yeah,
Jeez.
23 years. Yep. So we just went out to eat and had a good bottle of wine. And Saturday we had a masseuse come over to the house.
All right.
And,
Give you guys a massage. And
yeah, it was nice.
oh, nice.
Kids are all out doing their own thing. And
nice. Isn't that great that you're done?
way done. But no, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Nice. Nick, anything this weekend, buddy? Did you do anything this weekend? Any shows? Any open mics? Nothing?
Hold on. Let me.
You can start answering before.
Let me make sure I'm on camera. Okay, hold on. Still getting used to this. All right. I had some. I had my show High Point Brewery, which was really cool. Had Joey Medina on. He was really cool, awesome. It's a really good spot. It's in San Dimas. I'll be having the next one October 16th, I believe. And it's really just fun to have comedy back, you know. So and then that's as far as the biggest show this weekend.
No offense to the show. Listen, I've done it too.
Mm-hmm.
And my question to Clark is, do people that book clubs look at it differently when somebody like Joey Medina is doing like a brewery in Covina or something?
No, it's acts need stage time and at least more developing, not Joey Medina. We all love Joey Medina.
Mm-hmm.
Developing acts, you need to get stage time at, Starbucks if you can.
Wherever you can. What about this mentality that I would get from some headliners that would say, don't promote yourself in town because then you won't sell tickets?
Wait.
I mean, do you understand?
Don't promote yourself when you're on another show.
For example, let's say Steve Trevino now gets weekends, right?
Big time.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Steve Trevino is a great comic, but
Right.
when he was living in LA, he would also get weekends. And he would get weekends at the Ontario Improv. If you're a club owner and you see that he's doing a show in San Bernardino and he's going to do a weekend 2 weeks before your show and you see him putting it up on social media, as a club owner, what happens?
Yeah, you don't want him to promote you being somewhere else for a lower ticket price. No, I absolutely, you're right.
But that's what I'm saying, right? If once you make that leap to weekends, do you now go out and promote, a brewery show?
Not at all. Usually those are the shows that say special guest, so they don't name the name.
Mm-hmm.
And your Carlos Mencia is coming to do the Nick's show, and you can't promote him because he's going to be at a local club or a theater. And
Is that also a manager thing too? Like, cause I've heard if you promote the, like say a headliner, let's say you have Joe Rogan dropping in, like his manager gets a cut, so he can drop in cheaper if you don't mention him. So he has the right to drop in.
The whole basis behind it is that you're going to sell more tickets if somebody hasn't seen you. For example, if Richard Villa is going to play next weekend, and he's in town working out, and he's at Nick's Brewery, you don't want to promote that because people are going to be like, instead of me paying $25 to see Richard Villa, I can get it for free or by buying a beer at the brewery, and I'll get to see Richard Villa.
You got to understand, at the end of the day, no offense, Nick, your brewery won't be there forever.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The club is.
Mm-hmm.
You want to build that relationship with the club, and you don't want to put them in the back burner because you want to cater to this
You want to sell
brewery.
tickets, and you want to make sure you show that you're going into the future and selling tickets, so they will book you again next year.
In fact, one thing the brewery owners really cool. They love comedy. They said when you book comics, you should actually pitch as like, hey, this is like a workout or drop-in kind of room. Like, hey, you're gonna do the big clubs like in LA. Like, just drop in here, get some decent money, work out some material maybe, and then actually do the legit, So that's kind of, we really don't, we don't try to market it like, oh, this is like a comparison to the Improv, you know, like this is something like we got maybe 50 people there, you know, it's good energy, you know, you can work some stuff out.
Comics can drop in LA. There's 20 clubs they can drop into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're dropping in and they're just going on stage. But one of the things is Comedy Juice. How did Comedy Juice get booked so much talent, like so much big talent?
The buzz, and as far as I understand it, just the buzz, and everybody wanted to be a part of it. And they started booking bigger names, and I don't even know if they were paying them.
That's
just
the
doing
thing
it.
is you get Joe Rogan, Chris D'Elia, and all these big monsters on a lineup, and you're like, how the hell are you getting this mega list of rock stars? And now, like, how much did you pay them?
Look at Dirty at 12:30 in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he pays anybody, or the casino pays anybody. There's a ton of drop-ins, so he has a great
Yeah.
lineup.
Yeah, and it's in Vegas, and it's at 12 o'clock when most of the sets are done too, or
Yeah.
they're just getting started. So
It's to work out. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Gabe.
yeah, good workout room.
Yep.
All right. I went to the Moon Tower Festival in Austin,
Awesome.
and I was discussing this with you. I was there, and it was a great experience, man. You're out there, and you're meeting all these people, all these movers and shakers. I got to meet a lot of agents, a lot of managers, a lot of comedians were there. Does that play a big part in booking? Do you guys do it, or when it?
Operations wise, it doesn't. It's all what's done on the booking level.
But
you
do you get a phone call that says, "Hey, Clark, this guy just ripped it at the LOL Comedy Festival"?
No,
You never get those
Nope.
comments. It's just, "Hey, we're gonna book this guy."
it's these are your choices. The availabilities this weekend. It's Ralph Harris.
Yeah, and who gets to determine that?
Usually it comes down to the club can select, and whoever the best deal that the booking office can work out, or the booker,
Hmm.
that's who's going to land the weekend. Who's also based on the club, whoever's the least pain, the club will want.
The least paying,
Least difficult to work with. Yeah.
least difficult to
The
work
least.
with, easy to make money. And you
Easy.
made a comment that agents hated you.
No, they
not
they-
hated you, but you were
well,
joking.
not agents, managers. I was at least I think I was pretty, all business. All I wanted to do is make sure that the artists had fun. They got taken care of. We were selling tickets, bringing money in. Guests were, their expectations were exceeded, and
Uh-huh.
everybody had fun, and it was win-win. I wasn't a, hang out in the green room for hours at a time kind of person. And there are those people out there that
Yeah.
hang out in the green room the entire time instead of being on the floor where,
Yeah.
where the money's happening for the club,
Yeah.
dealing with the guests. and
I've
making
hung
sure
out. I've hung out with some of those managers all
Yeah.
night long.
that it's possible, but everybody has their own shtick.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, did you ever bump heads with any of these agents in terms of a club owner? I mean, not that club. Like, you were running this club, so you were. Did you ever run into problems? Like, what were some of the problems? Was it like the green room? Did you ever get somebody say, "Oh, hell no, I didn't get what I wanted on my rider"?
There are those comics that, especially in the last couple of years prior to COVID, there are those comics that have some things on their rider that lose their shit if the things aren't there. And most comics, and by most I mean 95% in
Mhm.
my experience,
Mm-hmm.
they don't even know what's on the rider. They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care. But if you've got, chiclets, Mentos, protein bars, things like that, most of the comics, they don't care. There's a few that really want it,
Uh-huh.
and there's a lot of acts that you need to make sure you have all that stuff.
Can you name any of them?
Name
Like, who needs a chapstick before they go up?
Angela Johnson.
Angela Johnson wants a chapstick.
Yeah, she has a couple chapsticks.
Okay.
Some
For
more
what?
roses. Monique needs a dozen roses. Some more needs 2 dozen roses professionally arranged on stage. We we tried to go to Costco and arrange them ourselves, and Wayne, her road manager, lit me up.
Oh, he did.
It's like, these aren't professionally arranged. Go get
Now-
them. So we had to go get some.
Okay, now who pays for that?
The club.
The club pays for it?
Oh yeah.
But I thought anything that an artist wants on their rider, they would end up paying for it.
No. Anything that's on the rider,
Mm-hmm.
the club pays for.
The club pays for it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So so if in my rider I want a 5 piece orchestra band, do you pay for that
Well,
also?
It's worked out in the deal where that would be less. It'd be off the top kind of thing where we'd split it
Okay.
like we talked about before.
So there are limitations to.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
cannot order like a bottle of cognac for $2,000.
Well, there are some acts that have some special liquor on there.
You
and
see
the
what
cl-
I'm
the
saying?
Club gets it for them.
And the club gets it for them.
Absolutely.
Does it depend on the ticket sales? Meaning it depends on the act?
Absolutely. If there's someone that's, if Richard Villa comes and he's got,
I'm going to get a glass of water.
and he's
No, I don't even get a bottle. I get a glass of water.
I know the feeling.
Get a hose.
Exactly. Look at him drinking from his glass.
Does it come out of their budget or whatever their pay when they ask for like something especially
No,
exorbitant?
it's a lot of times expenses come off the top, quote unquote. And if the deal's done normal, those things are kind of worked in a little bit. But Eddie Griffin's white Air Force One low top size 10 tennis shoes that back in the day we had to get one pair per show.
Mm-hmm.
No, club, we paid for it.
You paid for it.
Well, I mean the club. Yeah, the club
Yeah,
just
said, yeah, we're going
paid
to pay
for
for
it
these.
and bought it. Yeah, that's
And
part of
that's-
the deal.
Oh, nice. So as soon as I start getting weekends, do you recommend comedians just go ask for Air Force Ones and expensive bottles of liquor?
If you sell tickets, you can have whatever you want.
There you go, buddy. That is the secret.
Sell
It's not
tickets.
your talent, it's how many asses you can put on those seats.
It's true.
That is true. Shit, but you know what? It's not. I was thinking it was a little outrageous to ask for chapsticks, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably the most normal shit you can ask for.
Yeah, we Damon Wayans asked for a blow up king size mattress in the green room so he can take a nap between shows, and you have to have a pillow and a blanket.
Damn.
And oh yeah, so we get the
The inflatable.
inflatable, brrr,
Uh-huh.
and it's all blown up. We take all the furniture out of the green room,
Uh-huh.
so the mattress will even fit in there. And then he literally, he closes the door and in between shows, and no support is in there. It's just him. Feature opener have to be in
Outside?
the hall somewhere in the showroom, and he takes a nap.
Who's this?
Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans.
That's the
Yeah.
goal for making it, I guess.
Yeah.
They get an
Yeah.
air mattress.
A nap. Yeah, he can take a nap every time.
You know what? I'll probably ask for that. If anything, I want to take a nap.
Bob Saget has a specific guitar that he wants, so the clubs bought one guitar and passed it around between clubs, and somebody lost it or broke it, and then you'd be struggling to get that same guitar. If it wasn't that brand, I can't remember what one it was, but if it wasn't that brand, he wasn't happy.
Really? He's like,
Yeah.
come on, you have
Well,
one
no,
fucking job.
Bob Saget, great to you, thankful, appreciative, respectful, but then you would hear from his agent that Bob wasn't happy.
Yeah.
So, but to your face, he's a great guy.
When I would
Yeah.
hang out at the Haha, they had this like keyboard, and I found it was reserved for Craig Robinson's. Whenever he'd come in, he could just come and play.
That's another thing. It's funny is that Craig Robinson, if you know him, he plays the piano all the time. Amazing. It's so
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah.
And he had a band for a number of years that he would come tour with, and
Oh, wow.
people would come to the club and they'd here to see Craig Robinson, and then he'd have a band play, and they'd play for an hour, and people were upset that all I wanted to see was stand up, and all we got was music.
Yeah.
True story.
No, and it is true. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a great performer, but
Yeah.
yeah, they
They
wanted
wanted to see a stand up, and they played music, and that's what Craig wants to do. That's what he's going to do.
Wow.
That's
Now
okay.
the equipment do they bring it, or is it something you would?
No,
rent
we
for
would rent, and we pay for. The clubs would
the
pay
club.
for.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you say we, it's the clubs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That is
There was
crazy.
a writer that Ricky Smiley.
Ricky Smiley.
Ricky Smiley.
Okay.
He had a rider that was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Crazy.
What do you mean? Who? Okay.
Well,
okay.
well, the rider.
yeah.
I mean,
Uh-huh,
the
yeah,
list
yeah.
of all the things that the club was supposed
Uh-huh.
supposed to supply, and it was. Turns out his road manager at the time, his name was Kevin Wasson,
Mhm.
and he when people would call him out on it, because most clubs don't even bother reading the riders. Turns out.
Mhm.
And when I read it, and the end of the, it was brand new white furniture, leather, a baby grand piano, and then when I got to a Siberian Husky puppy was on the rider. Swear,
You are kidding me.
I called him out on it, and he's like, I just wanted to see if you were reading it, But it was for a second I about shit my pants. It was a
You're
lot
like,
of stuff.
where the hell am I gonna get a husky?
Siberian husky
Siberian
puppy.
husky.
I think it was
Puppy.
more than one.
Yeah.
It was more than one. But grand piano. How are you going to put a piano on the
And then-
stage?
Yeah. Wow, just the rental alone, just moving in and
Does that
tuning in.
It doesn't even tie into the performance either. Like
No,
just-
it was all made up. The
Yeah.
furniture and the but
Yeah.
a lot of times there's riders too that don't items that don't get taken out because they have a theater rider
Mm-hmm.
and then they have a club rider. A lot of times people just have a rider across the board and it'll say, buffalo wing platter and talking about having a catering service come in and take care of all that stuff. But we were, we had food and beverage available. So a lot of times all we would do is literally line through that part and just say food and beverage, kitchen and full bar and kitchen available.
All right, now let me talking about the bar. If you got me that really nice expensive bottle of cognac, can I take it home?
Funny you mentioned that.
Can I take it
are you
home?
reading? There are certain acts that have high-end bottles on their rider,
Uh-huh.
and literally, they don't open them and take them home. And then every day they come back, it's on the rider. So you need to have that item, weigh-ins, on in the green room.
Uh-huh.
And it's funny because we kind of joked on to the side and we're like, I bet you, the whole family shows up for Christmas and they exchange bottles of Ciroc vodka and everybody has it limited because every club is supplied 10 bottles of Ciroc vodka.
Per night.
Couple per night. Well, you had to have coconut, you didn't have pineapple,
Oh, no, I
red
know.
berry,
Yeah.
all that stuff. They would be 1.75 liters and
Just like
unopened, and then people would order still from the bar and from the kitchen,
Uh-huh.
and they would just take those bottles home every night.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I know going on tour, even the food, meaning when I was doing the Microsoft Theater, when we were doing these big theaters, the food, everything was cut from the top. And I'm thinking maybe these acts come in, see all these bottles there in the writers because they do these big theater acts, and they understand I'm paying for it anyways. Let's take it. Do you understand the mentality? If it was a big act and he's used to paying the green room, like at the end, let's say somebody like Gabriel Iglesias wants 10 bottles of Ciroc, okay, per se. I'm not saying that's what he wants, but at the end of the day, the people promoting the event and the shows will go, here's your bill. You ordered the 10 bottles.
Nobody drops a check on.
Oh, no. Meaning when we're going to pay you for the tickets at the end of the Microsoft Theater.
Sure, they probably do have it's already written out. There's an expense. It's taken off the top.
For food and beverage.
$3,000 is taken, deducted from a percentage out, and they're going to spend that on
Food and beverage.
food and beverage. Yeah.
So as an artist, like I'm Gabriel Iglesias, I already have this in my rider. I know I'm going to pay for this.
Yeah.
These are my bottles anyways. I paid
Yeah.
for it.
Well, maybe they're doing things a little different now, club wise.
No, these are big theaters.
Right, but I'm
Yeah.
still circling back
Oh,
to the
okay,
club
the-
thing. Maybe they're writing things a little different where they're doing more expenses.
Mhm.
Finally, but no, before it was literally there's a lot of huge names and they all kind of do the same thing.
when somebody comes to a club and tells you, "Hey, I want this competition. I'm the World Series funniest guy in Las Vegas." Does that matter?
No.
It's just asses on seats.
Yeah. It's advanced ticket sales. It's
How many can you sell out there?
You can, yeah. If the club has to go to an agent or a manager and say, "Hey, we need to issue more comps," it's not a good thing. If you're a big name, it's not a good thing.
That's
It means
a
you're
kick.
not selling tickets.
Kick in
Well,
the gut.
but again, we've talked about this a million times, and
Yeah.
that's up and coming people. You need to offer comps because it's win-win.
Promote.
The club needs butts and seats. They're
Mhm.
also going to promote you to a new group of people,
Mhm.
and it's win-win.
Yeah. In terms of the club, did you ever face a fight? I mean, has there ever been a brawl, like a real major brawl, where
Yes.
you're like, "Shit"?
Yeah, it's funny.
When was that?
Um,
I mean, amongst the audience members.
yeah, I want to say it was a Jay Moore weekend, and there was a brawl of guests, like some people in the front over to stage right,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody bumped into somebody else, and somebody hit this girl's drink or knocked it over, and there was a full-on brawl with chairs, everything fighting on the whole side of the room. And at that time, we had great relationships with the police department, and so and they were literally always hanging out because they knew, the kind of things that
Yeah, and the
happened.
cops get to go in and watch some
we
comedy.
always say, yeah,
goddammit.
and some people don't necessarily want to see cops hanging out because sometimes that's a bad vibe. Why do you need cops? But no, I loved it. I loved it. But they came in and I swear I remember seeing red lasers on all these guests' shirts, and Jay Moore was like announcing the play-by-play.
He
Like,
was
he was
still on
playing-
stage. He's still on
He
stage.
was still on stage, literally doing like he was an announcer,
Yeah.
boxing announcer. It
Oh
was awesome. It
wow,
was
that
awesome.
is hilarious! Like that's right, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, we are here at the Ontario Improv.
It was great. It was great. kind of nerve wracking though when you see all those red dots.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
So the cops got there, settled everything down.
Settled
Did
everything
Jay
down.
Moore continue with the show?
Yeah, it took probably 20 minutes to clear everything out and set everything up and clean up, but
Mhm.
he finished his set. I mean, he still stayed under an hour 10, I think. So basically, those people took some time away from
the show.
people that paid for the full show. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty. Fun.
Wow. Have you ever been attacked as a manager?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yeah.
When did you get attacked?
Yeah.
What happened to you?
Yeah. Well, let me let's take a quick break and we'll come right back.
All right. We'll be right back, guys. Here's a few sponsors from Sancho. Sancho will come to your house and will definitely service your wife's needs. So if you ever need any services in your house, call Sancho. He will come over and service her. Sorry, we have to pay the bills. All right, buddy. You got it. You got to tell me. You got to tell me. So when did you get assaulted? When did somebody attack you?
Not assaulted, but all right. This is how I remember it. I'm not embellishing.
Who are we talking about? Can you say his name?
Cat Williams.
You got in a fight with Cat Williams?
Not a fight. Not a fight.
Okay,
No, but
okay. How does it?
here's the story. So it's Mo Better Monday. I'm pretty new at the Improv in Hollywood.
Okay.
I think I was still wearing a tie. But there was an issue going on with the neighborhood. If you know Melrose, and there's houses all around it right behind it.
Yeah.
And they weren't real fans of Mo Better Monday. We used to, we had off-duty motorcycle officers that would patrol the area and kind of help, keep things in line. And
Now, who paid for the officers?
the club did.
The club did. Okay.
Yeah. So Mo Better Monday, Big Spike.
Mhm.
The thing with the neighbors, we agreed at one point. There was meetings, the city council. There was an agreement that everything would be over by 10 or 10:30. I don't remember the exact time, but I committed to us wrapping up on Mondays and other shows. It was Mondays in particular is what they were talking about. that 10 or 10:30 we would be dark and everybody would be gone. Well, this particular Monday, as the show's wrapping up, Cat Williams, who was Cat in the Hat at the time, he was this comic who had this hat.
Yeah.
That was his shtick. Cat in the Hat, it was kind of thing. I had no idea who he was. No idea. So this guy goes on stage at, I think it was 10 o'clock. So it was a few minutes before 10. And I wanted to remind the staff and the sound guy and like, hey, we have to be done at 10 because we need to get this over with. And it was like 10:02. He was still going, click, throw the light on, flash the light,
Yeah.
As everybody knows, you get the light flash. That means get off the stage.
That's over.
But he kept going. And I think it was about 10 after 10. And I was feeling the pressure. I knew there was a couple of neighbors that would always walk around that time, walk in front to make sure that we were honoring the word. We would not lose our liquor license.
Yeah,
You lose
of
your liquor
course.
license,
That's your
it's over.
business.
It's over.
Yeah.
So about 10:10, not knowing who he was, I walked up to the soundboard and I hit mute. And I walked away. And I went upstairs to start counting money because we were closing things out. When I was up there counting money, we had some off-duty officers that were our security as well. And one of them was up in the office with me. At that time, the office was upstairs underneath a wall. You had to walk in, you go in, safe is on the right, desk is over here. I was sitting next to the safe, kind of counting things out, and I hear behind me, the entrance was behind me, I hear this, man, motherfucker, and I see Cat Williams walk in, go under the wall, and literally launch himself in the air. This is how I remember it. And launch himself, and one of the security guys that we had there literally caught him in the air.
Wow.
Caught him in the air before he got to me and got him out. This is a true story. True story. So they I don't remember if they moved him out, whatever they did, got him outside. And counting money, cashing out, servers, blah, blah, blah. But it was about 1 something when I got out of there. And went outside, walked to my car. It's the only car there. Kyle was the security guy that friend of mine that caught Cat and
Yeah.
but when I went outside, there was these headlights and this old Mercedes, this old white beat up Mercedes down the street. And when Cat Williams was Cat in the Hat, he wasn't doing as well as he has done, let's say. But there was these lights of this car, and it was like, I think it was revving its engine. There were no cars on Melrose at 1 o'clock. No cars at all.
Just you and that
Just
Mercedes
me
and a big
that
hat.
Mercedes right there.
With a
Couldn't
big
see the hat, but right there. Like, I can, at that time, I could probably handle myself, but, I could not run a bullet. I don't know what the guy's got. So I have no idea. So I got in my car and I turned right out of the parking lot of Melrose, which is now a patio.
Yeah.
But I turned right, and Kyle was kind enough to hang out, and he got his car from behind, drove out, and he kind of followed me. And Cat Williams in that white Mercedes was coming, and he followed me all the way down to the 101. And it's a few miles.
Yeah, that
would
is
say it's
about 15 minutes
It's a couple miles
at that
least.
time. I mean, with traffic, you're talking about half an hour to 45 minutes
Yeah.
just to get to that freeway.
From 101 to down Melrose.
Yeah.
But I was really nervous.
Yeah.
Really nervous. But that
So
was
you were scared of Cat Williams, bro. You were probably the only man in the world that's ever been scared.
no.
There was there's a junior high kid that beat his ass, right? I'm just saying.
That was since then. Yes, but no. Again, it's the hey, I can, I could handle myself with him, but you can't outrun a bullet.
That is true.
You don't know what anybody's capable of.
Well, that junior high kid didn't give a shit.
Oh man,
He grabbed them up and got them to the floor. But that wasn't it, because I know I heard the news. I heard the news of what happened in Ontario. Okay, so what happens in Ontario? This is in Hollywood. You move to Ontario. Now you're managing that club.
That was probably 2004 with Cat and Hat 2003. 2004, Cat in the Hat. That
Yeah.
was his shtick at the time. And then I go to Ontario in 2005, and Cat has his issues. He becomes Cat Williams and legendary, and
The
you know,
specials are
specials,
released.
and
Friday is
he's
released. He's a big megastar.
crazy. But yes,
Yes.
he's a megastar. He went to jail or prison, or I'm not sure exactly the story. I don't remember it. But he was coming back out of it. I know he had some addiction issues that he was overcoming, and he was supposedly better, and he needed to come out and needed to make some money. There were some people that were taking advantage of him. You know, when you have that kind of money, they come out of the woodwork, and they're
You're famous.
You're
they're
and you're
saying.
you're taking care of your family and blah blah blah. But he went to he had some time out. Then he came back, and Ontario was one of the first rooms I think he played when he was released, or I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, you're released.
Yeah, you're no longer inside.
Yeah, you're out on probation.
I don't know.
Okay, well, whatever. He's released,
Maybe.
and he's out doing and performing. Is he okay now? When he's performing, when he shows up, everything's good. Or how do you guys book him? First of all, do they throw them at you and say?
So I get a call, and other people I believe know of the incident that happened in Melrose.
Uh-huh.
So they're aware that Kat and I didn't click right away.
Mhm.
And maybe he remembered it. Maybe not. I'm nobody. What's it matter? So I thought, well, I was told that he was going to be booked in a month or so. He was doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just Friday, Saturday, and his agent. It's never happened before, but we prepaid him $30,000. I've never seen that before. You never prepay anybody, but Chris Smith, who at the time, maybe he still is, I don't know, was his agent, worked a deal with Robert Hartman to prepay him $30,000 because he needed to take care of some things. So we got him $30,000.
Okay.
By we, I mean
The club.
the club.
Yeah.
So then it comes Friday night, his first show. And he's supposed to shows are at 8 and 10 or 10:30. He's supposed to be there way in advance of 8.
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about this on a show already?
No, we didn't.
All right. Well,
That's why
my memory's really
I
bad.
wanna. No, you've probably told that story before, but we haven't heard it.
Well, so he's supposed to be there, and sold out show, obviously, packed house. Shows Ronzio Vance is the feature or host. I don't remember. Somebody else. I don't remember offhand, but it was the other side, the feature host. They were doing their show, and we are in the back, and we were like stretch, because he was nowhere to be found.
Okay, so Cat's not in the club yet.
He has not shown up. I know he was staying at it was the Ontario Hilton at the time. I don't know what it is
which is
now,
down
but
the street.
down the street.
Yeah.
But didn't show up. And it's at least an hour. It's at least 9:00. And this Hummer pulls up. This GMC Hummer. What was it called?
Yeah, just
Who
the big
made it?
Hummers, the
Yeah,
H2s.
the big whatever it was.
The H2s,
This
yeah.
H2. But it pulls up, and we're like, oh, jeez, finally. He's here. And then out of this Hummer that parks in the back where the comics park
Uh-huh.
comes 3 scantily dressed women.
Okay.
And we weren't I wasn't sure exactly what was up because Cat Williams wasn't with them.
Uh-huh.
So they got out. They came in and they brought some things inside to the showroom, including a cow skull, a skull that they put these young ladies put on the mic stand, so it was like a podium kind of a thing. They put incense around probably a 10-foot circle around where the mic was going to be. They prepped it for him, and it was kind of a, I don't know, seance, kind of a cleansing. I don't know, but
nice.
they came and they set that up, and then I was kind of fuming because these guests were, we're hey, stretch to these comics that are trying to do this. There's a time when nobody's on stage and they're setting it up. They leave. I think they're going to go get Cat, who's in the Hummer, but he wasn't. They left. So
Okay, so now the stage is set.
stage is set. We send Maranzio, whomever else, we send them back up to do more time. They have more time, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And then the outside is full for the next show.
Of course.
And the second show is already supposed to be letting in.
Yes.
And-
Where's Cat?
And Cat Williams isn't there yet. So finally up pulls this Hummer, and from the back comes Cat Williams. He's got on, I want to say 30 bracelets on
Okay.
each side, 30 bracelets. He's got these neon like glasses, these, I don't know what you call them, feather, I don't know what you call them, but neon. And he gets out and he's like, hey, hey, everybody, nice to see you. And he starts shaking everybody's hand. I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome.
Yes.
But then he starts walking the other way.
Where was he walking?
I'm like, Cat. Oh, he was going the other way. I need to back up because I
Okay.
just remembered something.
What
The
happened?
other thing that the women did is after they set up the candles and the incense and the cow skull, is they all came and they got this rug. And when they got the rug out of the truck, I'm like, oh, he's in the rug. This is going to be hilarious. So they bring in this rug and they lay the rug out on the stage because this is part of the
Yeah.
thing. And there's no Cat Williams. And that's when they left. And I'm like, oh my, I couldn't believe it. Anyway, when Cat finally came, hour and a half, 2 hours late, and he shakes everybody's hand. Hey, nice to see you. Nice. And he starts walking literally the other way towards, I think, Sports Authority was there at the time.
Yes.
Sports Authority. And I'm like, Cat, come on, we got to go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him to get inside. And he's like, all right. So finally he goes in. Again, full out front. He gets on stage and starts doing some material. And he isn't doing well.
Okay.
And he starts kind of getting some guests because they're also not super happy because
They've been waiting for 3
they've
hours.
been waiting. These are the people inside. There's a second show that's extra late.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm not getting paid enough to give you my good shit. And which immediately enraged a bunch of people.
Of course.
Enraged. And it was a mess and it was ugly. And
So no, don't go. It was a mess. It was ugly. After he makes that comment, what happens to the audience? Like, where did they turn on him? How did they turn on him?
well, he wasn't doing well. He was working on new material that I don't think he'd ever done before. I think he was just winging it, which some comics do. They're just funny.
They ran
naturally.
on stage, yeah.
But whatever he was talking about wasn't clicking with the audience. And they turned on him.
And
They were literally, shut up, bitch. They were going after him.
Wow.
This was at the Ontario Improv, right?
Yes.
At the Improv in Ontario.
So the Hummer had to drive up to like that part where they got
back area. Yep.
oh
by
the back oh
yeah,
gotcha
by
The back
beautiful,
area.
Okay.
Beautiful trash area.
Yeah, the nice
Okay.
smelling area. But
It's
because
beautiful.
the cops showed up, man. I know it was in the news. I know
Well,
TMZ talked about it. So
but-
while
so-
he's on stage, what's going on?
So some of the guests are leaving
Mm-hmm.
because they're pissed, and it's not funny
Mm-hmm.
with him up there. They wanted their money back, and
Mhm.
I don't.
You don't get money
I
back.
don't. I don't have the money. I don't. We'll deal with it later and I give out my business cards and call me on Monday. I'm not fucking calling. Yeah. Anyway.
I want my money now.
Now.
Yeah.
But so he is literally on stage saying, "Just bring the next show in. We'll just keep it and we'll run it long." bro,
You
that's
can't
not how it works. We have to
clear the
no,
tables.
you got to clear.
clean.
And all these people paid for a show outside, and they're not going to want to come in and sit in the back because a lot of people lined up really early to get
to
the
be
front seats.
Yes, they
So
want to have a good experience.
That's what they wanted to have. But he was on stage, and I called Chris Smith on the phone, and I said, "I'm like, Chris, this is really not going well." And there was this long pause, and hey, you do you know, you do you. So we hang up the phone, and I literally walk down there's an aisle in the middle in Ontario. It splits the room, and I walk, and he's still on stage. People are leaving. The lights are coming up. We're trying to get him off stage. And I walk up. I'm like, Kat, we got to have you off stage. The show's over. People are booing. The people that are left are booing. And he looks at me and he goes, "Motherfucker, this is the second time that you've done this to me." And I thought there's no way he remembers, because that was, I would say it was 10 years later.
Wow.
Motherfucker, this is the second time. And his road manager, a female, well, let me not get ahead of that. But I wanted to get him off stage, and I kind of knew the night was over. He somehow got out past me and went outside to all those guests standing in line. And he's like, "The club doesn't want me here. This motherfucker, tell the club, they just canceled the show. I want to perform, but the club doesn't want me to perform," which obviously we're over an hour late into the show that was supposed to have already started. And all these people are upset, you know, that the show's late. And then the comic, Cat Williams, walks outside and blames it on the club and says, "They don't want me to perform anymore. They're canceling the show." It was a mess. It was a mess. So that's when police got involved, and your TMZ somehow made their way out to Ontario, and the show was canceled. We told people, if you want to, you know, you're out for the night, come on in, have fun. We'll, you know, refund your money, see a show. Maybe 40% stayed. But at the end of the night, as I was leaving, I didn't close that night, but as I pulled away, across the street, there's a Shell station, there's a Burger King, there's a AMC, Edwards, whatever, AMC, whatever.
Edwards.
But AMC is better than Edwards. But I see these headlights, these Hummer headlights in the Shell park. I shit you not. There were Hummers, other Hummers, but you just kind of knew. And I could see these Hummer headlights sitting there. This guy was literally waiting to get back at me again.
If I remember before, you said he ran out of gas, right? The first time.
I think that was probably the first time on Melrose. He didn't. I think that was just something I made up.
Oh, okay, because I'm thinking that's
he
why he was
didn't
filling up
really-
for the second time.
He didn't.
The
Well-
Shell.
Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be funny.
Well, now he had
Funny.
money, so he
Yeah.
obviously he
Yeah.
can pump his own gas.
Well, I'll make
So-
sure he doesn't run out of gas this time.
But that night, I remember his road manager's like, "You need to pay us out for the full weekend because you're canceling it. It's not our fault." And I went and did some math. I'm like, "No, you owe the company, you owe us money because we floated you 30 grand." And doing the math, if the first show was settled and we were all good and nobody wanted a refund, now the other shows that we're canceling because this guy's out of his mind, you owe us money. So how are we going to settle this? And she wouldn't take no for an answer. She wanted her money for the whole weekend, like right then as well. And you don't know what to do with this kind of stuff. This was insane.
Yeah. So what happened? Did you guys end up paying him?
No, there was another break in between him performing. I have no idea why. But when he played other rooms, I think he might have played Brea or Irvine at a time, or even a Texas room. I don't know. But somehow they deducted it from his pay of what the balance that he owed for that 30. And then we basically, on the shows that got canceled, we refunded everybody and gave him free tickets to
Richard Villa show.
Richard Villa.
You go see that guy.
I mean, he's all right.
He's
But,
all right.
yeah, we gave him tickets to fill up a show that we knew we needed bodies for. We tried.
Yeah.
We tried to.
Yeah.
And
Did he ever come after you? Did he ever come approach you in his Hummer? What happened there? Did you get in your car? Did he follow you?
left.
Yeah, I know you left, but did the Hummer follow you?
I left really fast.
Okay.
I don't. It might have pulled. I don't remember.
Did the club ever work with Cat Williams again?
The company did.
The company did.
When I was a part of that club and the company, I don't think so. I don't think he ever did club dates
After those.
again. He was always doing theaters and yeah, I don't know, but I did make it known that if they booked him at one of my clubs again, that I was off that weekend. So,
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's okay. I mean,
Take the
need to
day
make
off.
money. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
would they book him today? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. No
Wow.
question. But it was, yeah, it was kind of,
Wow, that is crazy, man. Has comedians ever been attacked on stage?
there was Randy Kagan.
Randy Kagan.
Do you know that name?
No.
Randy Kagan was was just a comic that was funny, that did all the, the factory, the store, the improv, all in Hollywood. And the clubs aren't really set up to, they have security and doormen, but they're not really trained to prevent somebody going ballistic.
No, it's another comic. It's Nick
yeah, it's
at the
yeah,
door.
It's Nick. Yeah,
It's Nick at the door.
Yeah, hey, go throw those people out, Nick.
Nick's
What?
like, yeah, right.
You want me?
You
What?
What? No, I checked tickets.
Anyway, I wasn't there, but this is the story that I heard was that Randy Kagan went after some chick about her features in a good way, like, hey, you should meet later. And this insecure guy boyfriend loses his shit and get ups and punches Randy Kagan on stage in Hollywood, right on the stage, and the door guys, including everybody there, I guess, is like, what just happened, kind of thing. But
Wow.
he punched him and I think hurt him pretty bad. Randy Kagan actually sued, as far as I understand, I don't know this for a fact, sued the company for negligence of not
Providing the right security.
not providing in the safe environment for the artists. But I don't think he ever.
Did he win?
I don't think so. But there's, how lawsuits are. There's settlements.
Yeah,
don't
but he
know.
could sue the guy that hit him.
Yeah,
You could sue that
yeah.
guy.
I don't know. But you're gonna sue somebody who hits you. What are you gonna get out of that?
$7,000. That's what another comedian got.
Not even that much.
Yeah.
And-
Because it's still assault and you want to press charges and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, but as far as I know, that Randy Kagan never played, obviously,
The clubs again.
at least the levity clubs. Yeah,
Yeah.
played them again. But he was a floater guy. He wasn't a headline weekend
Mm-hmm.
kind of guy.
Yeah. Meaning he didn't make money.
Well, he wasn't there yet. He wouldn't sell tickets yet. No,
Yeah.
but he was.
So-
He
Was he funny?
I think he was funny.
All right.
Well, that was 20 years. No, how many years ago? 15.
I have no idea.
20 years. This was over
20.
20 years ago, maybe.
That's crazy, man. Wow.
Not 20 years.
I know there's a million stories or versions of that Cat Williams.
Probably.
Like I've heard that.
I lived it, man.
Yeah, I know you lived it, but I heard that you tried to pay him $30,000 and Cat Williams grabbed it and threw it up in the air. And he threw the money up in the air and he didn't care. And then you guys had to pick it up because he said, nah, the agent's going to want that money.
That's funny. I've never heard that.
No, okay. I've heard a million.
That's funny.
No, they think that he attacked you and that's why they called the cops because you were filing for assault charges on
Me?
Cat Williams. Yes, I
No,
mean,
wouldn't.
Because the story just took a life of its own, man. Everybody was talking about it. TMZ was talking about it. I was like, oh shit, look at Clark.
Yeah.
Controversy, dude.
Good times.
It is good times.
Good times.
So that is
best.
crazy, man. But we're gonna wrap this up, man. That is our podcast. There's a great story, man, behind the green room door. That shit is dope, dude.
Behind the green room door, man. I'll write them down, but I got a lot of stories to share.
Yeah, bro. Nick,
stories.
anything else you want to add before we wrap this thing up?
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Hey,
You good?
thanks, Nick. Thanks
Yeah.
for everything, man.
Yeah, thank you.
You need to be quiet sometimes, though.
No, right? Yeah,
You need
I
to-
talk way too much.
All right, man. Well, if you guys have any more questions, if you have any doubts, or if you guys just want to know how things work in the industry, please hit us up. Clark's here. He's more than glad to answer some questions. And if you have a story about Clark and his encounter with Cat Williams, please tell us. All right, guys. My name is Richard Villa. Do you have social media handles, Clark?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Do you?
Yeah, I
do
don't.
you?
I don't.
You wanna share
I
'em?
don't work on it.
You don't want?
no,
Do you
I
want to
don't.
share them?
I will.
You will one day.
Yeah. One day.
One day, not today. All right.
5 years from now.
he's
I
gonna
don't.
want-
I don't. I'm not marketing. I'm not here to gain anything. I'm just here to talk and share knowledge if I can help anybody.
All right, Nick.
I'm Lava 589 Instagram and YouTube. We also have a social media for this podcast. It's Behind the Green Room Door podcast on Instagram
On Instagram, guys. So
And
please,
We do.
yeah, we do.
and
We
YouTube
do.
as well. Yeah.
So please hit us up
Sweet.
there. Please, if you have questions, please you can put them there. You can DM us there. Also, I have a show at the Laugh Factory in San Diego this Sunday, October 3rd. Many shows, so please be tuned, and festival dates that are coming next year. So thank you very much for joining us. This is Richard Villa. Good night, everybody.
Thanks.